Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne. You're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you very, very much for being here. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings for today. Today is January 13th, 2021, and there is a new moon that occurred just after midnight this morning in Capricorn. So I'm definitely, like I always do, I'm going to be lighting my new moon intentions candle. So I would invite all of you to write out your intentions. What do you want to do? What thoughts are coming to you that really are inspiring you? What do you see for yourself, for others, for your relationships? Or what do you want to see? I mean, what do you want to have come in, right? What do you want to co-create? All of those variables that come along with the beautiful energies that can help support you, help move you forward in your intentions. Now, the new moon also notoriously is known for new beginnings, transformations. Every month we have one. But it also can be the beginning of the end. So it can have you eliminating something, being done with something once and for all, to open up and allow the good, the new, the more productive, the more fulfilling energies that come in. And when it's in Capricorn, as well as Capricorn season that we're in, it is really about your practical, resourceful energy, the energetic, steadfast, reliable, dedicated, very natural kind of way. It just comes naturally. It's very subtle in a lot of ways, but it's all about the practical parts of your life, all about the things that really, really matter to you, your comforts, your job, your family, how do you put food on the table, what does that mean for you, and letting this influence that's very calming take place, because we are in winter, and that is what Capricorn also represents. They initiate the season of winter, and they are fully aware of the importance of focusing. They're ruled by, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it has changed into Aquarius, where it was in Capricorn all of last year, and then I think even prior to that, because it's every 2.5, 3 years. But I mean, I'm just saying that even those of us that aren't necessarily prone to be that way in how we work our lives and structured and all that, this is the influence to do that, to take care of details. And today's featured sun sign for my love connection readings, as I go around the wheel the second time for mid-month readings, is for Aries. So I mean, here we have this determined, pretty straightforward, methodical, like I said, resourceful, determined, energetic energy in the practical aspects of our life of Capricorn. And then you, Aries, being a fire sign, a motivated, a spirited, fire is about spirit. It's about, regenerating. It's about passion. And you are the sign, like the Capricorn, both being cardinal, that initiate the season of spring. So that's coming up before we know it. Days get longer. We've planted the seeds maybe last year or even today in the intentions of this new moon to see things grow, to see our intentions, our desires, our dreams, take flight, to actually become a tangible, realistic thing for us, no matter what that is. And it's just a beautiful feeling. And I feel a wonderful synchronicity between those two, and a wonderful harmony between that, because they can be so different and yet so complementary, as I say many times, with the difference of the different personalities and character traits in love connections. We can get along with everybody, but some of us it's just meant to be, or there's always going to be a little drama in them, or it's just the most incredible, perfect soulmate where everything just seems to fall into place. I mean, there's such a variance there, but all love connections are welcome. So we'll start with the Aries. I did incorporate now a new deck. I'm really excited about my new decks for mid-month readings. And this deck is going to be shuffled a little more. I shuffled before I came on camera, but when they're new, you know, they stick together, and the same suits tend to be together. So bear with me as I shuffle and talk at the same time. For the featured sign today of Aries, as I go back around the zodiac wheel, for those that are new, I have a structured kind of setup here, so you know what sign will be each day. I have the random, spiritually guided, highlighted connection for today, and that's going to be with the sign of Aries. That's you, Aries, so we'll try again. Aries and Aries. I do that sometimes with the extra days at the end of the month. I'll do the same sign, you know, highlighted connections, because there's so many compatible relationships in that realm. I was married to the same sun sign as myself. Ooh, baby. So we did Aquarius yesterday. We did Pisces the day before, but it just looks as though that's what's supposed to happen. So let's do it. I'm going for it. So Aries, you are the featured sign, and your highlighted connection, which means I'll read 3 specific categories from the tarot, especially for you, the messages for this highlighted connection of Pisces. Okay, and then I will finish the reading with 3 important and very, very encouraging and wisdom-filled messages from love, from my Oracle Divinations. And I've changed one of them this month as well. I like to, you know, kind of circulate and change up and add and take away depending on, you know, what the circumstance is. So let's get started with reading. We have Aries. So you're the first sign of the zodiac, Aries. In fact, in astrology, you start the year. That is legitimately the new year for astrology in March. It's spring, it's the beginning, you know, leaves have fallen in winter, and now the buds are coming through. We have a new feeling, a new fresh start. It's just a way to instigate that beautiful energy that you bring forth. You are such an energetic sign. You are so filled with hope and trust and I don't know, motivation, inspiration, innovation, creativity. You love to get things going. You are a cardinal sign. You like to initiate, you like to lead, you're very, very confident. A lot of times you'll start something you don't necessarily even know about, but you believe you will be successful because that's where your mind is going. You are so determined, right, to make that happen. And a lot of times you do. And I'm not saying you just are willy-nilly. I mean, a lot of times you've studied, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to take what I've learned and I'm going to put it towards this. And there's always things to learn, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the risk. I guess what I'm trying to say is you are definitely risk takers. You can be impulsive. You may start in a particular project or, you know, real fired up ambition, and then it doesn't work, so you just kind of will stop it, go on to the next. You know, you just say, okay, that wasn't good, but you don't let it hold you back. That's that beautiful energy that's very contagious to a lot of people, and they look towards you and they look for guidance in a lot of ways, I find, with Aries, because a lot of times Aries are the teachers. They're the ones that are, you know, your boss or your authoritative person in some way in your life. My dad was an Aries. He was a quiet Aries, and he actually passed away 18 years ago this month. So, but I love him so much. He's always with me every single day. I have a conversation and thank him for being such a great man that he was and is. I'll say is. So you are ruled by Mars, and you know that makes you extremely fiery. Mars is the planet who's very comfortable in Aries, and that's, you know, exalted in Aries. And we had Mars in Aries for 6 months up until a week ago. So you had a lot of things to work through in the past year, as we all did. But for you, it was very, very intense at times, specifically in regards to relationships. It was about really redefining and revisiting a lot of what you had thought to be true for yourself. Your belief systems were changing. You know, I mean, there was so many things that were coming into the mix in relationships, within yourself, within your belief systems, and yet when Mercury then went 2 months into retrograde in your sign, I'm sorry, not Mercury, when Mars retrograded in your sign for 2 months during that 6-month interval of time, which is a very long time to be in any sign. I think you really, really reached a point, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what age you are, where something clicked and turned, and it was time to really, really transform in ways you hadn't prior. And I don't know what that is. It's a general reading, but I know that that was a very, very potent and critical time for a lot of Aries. And so here we are in 2021, just the first week still, really. Nah, not quite 2 weeks. Okay, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, but still so much to think about, so much to go through. And yet with that fiery energy that you have, you still want to take on this beautiful, calming, grounded energy so that you feel even more assured and confident about where you're heading. You're just taking it easy. You were taught that last year. Sometimes it's good to hold back. We do have these shadow periods starting in a day or so for the Mercury retrograde that's taking effect on the 30th through, I believe, February 20th. That affects all of us. It'll affect you. You may already start to feel it in little ways regarding transportation, mix-ups maybe with communication. If you have travel plans, and I know a lot of you do, because Aries like to keep it moving, you're very, very much about, you know, moving and excitement and adventure and trying things and taking breaks, right? And enjoying yourself whenever you can. And so just double check everything during this retrograde, okay? It will be in the sign of Aquarius, which is quite complementary to you. I don't think it'll be a huge problem other than the things I mentioned, which is the norm for Mercury retrogrades. You don't necessarily want to start anything brand new. Just revisit, recalculate, relax, retreat, you know, reevaluate, and all the things you can do during the retrograde, which is always there to just let us know and remind us, hey, think this through a little bit more before you proceed. That's really what they're about. They're not horrible. They can be a little annoying at times when you have to redo something a few times, but you know, it's just to help us. That's all I really want to say. So then you have your beautiful highlighted connection of Pisces. I just read for Pisces 2 days ago. Pisces is water, right next to you, and so different. You're the first sign of the zodiac. Pisces is the 12th sign. Pisces is the more spiritual sign. Pisces is very, very water element, right? Very emotional, very sensitive, very in tune with people, with feelings, with the way that life works, you know, the mystery parts of life, the things that I love with my channel, that I study, that I've studied for years, that I try to learn more about every day, you know. I mean, that I hope like-minded people like yourself are coming here to share with me, and you can share your comments and your experiences. It's just, they're very creative. They are very, very insightful. They just know, okay? They're ruled by Neptune. Now, Neptune is a kind of a funny planet. It definitely is the god of the underworld, the mysterious, once again, the unseen, the kind of fantasy, not necessarily clear, not necessarily, kind of clouds our vision a lot of times. It did station forward after many months. So there's a little more clarity, a little more insightfulness, definitely a time for Pisces and all of us, but Pisces to hone their intuitive abilities. You will notice that's happening. We also have the important, beautiful planets of Saturn and Jupiter that went into Aquarius on December 21st, which affects everybody, but it affects Pisces in their 12th house. They're subconscious, they're the house of confinement, of redoing, which is, you know, all about Pisces. I mean, they understand the beginning and the ending, the cycles, rejuvenation, life, birth, you know, death. It's so perfect, and it's a time to really hone and, like I said, take advantage of the ability to heal yourself on a subconscious level, you know, to break free from the constraints that tend to hold us back from our best selves, you know, and that's what's really being brought to the picture for you. So with this, you're a mutable sign, and you're very adaptable. You're very capable of taking on other energies, you're incredibly good when it comes to being actors or, mimics. It's a real talent for you, and not to mention your creativity as far as music or art in general, and all different mediums of art. Some of the best artists I've known are Pisces. You have that place in you, that ability to just kind of be of another world while living in this world, and you really take that to heart. This means, though, however, you need time to be still, to take back your energy, because a lot of times people will go to you, they sense this beautiful light and this aspect of you that wants to give, that wants to nurture, that wants to care for others, and people will zap that up, boy. So just being aware of that, protecting yourself. And you've got this energy, with the two of you, Aries and Pisces. I mean, it's a very common connection I see all the time, and yet it's water and fire. So I mean, there's that tension, as I like to say. There's that attraction, that passion. It's never boring, And I mean, I feel what's so beautiful about it is the water can put out the fire when it gets a little too crazy, right? And that beautiful, fiery, ambitious Aries might, lose his temper a bit, or might just say the wrong thing, because they are so cute. They're like these children, they're the first sign, number one, right? And they have this naive kind of childlike manner about them, where they just say what they think and think what they feel, and that's what children do, right? If they're mad, they're on the floor with a temper because they don't really know how to handle it, and that's kind of what you see with a lot of Aries. But it's real, it's authentic, and that's very attractive to Pisceans. So the Pisceans will help to tame that energy, and and it's a beautiful symbiotic kind of energy for each other. The Aries will help the Piscean to be more direct and to be more fiery and ambitious, and not to just allow anything. And they have this kind of easy flowing, oh, let's go with the flow, everything is cool, a lot of times. And they kind of put them in line sometimes to say, hey, let's make it happen, let's start today, and it just works really beautiful for each other. I hope that makes sense and you can kind of resonate with those feelings, because it's something I've witnessed for so long. And then I have an Aries moon. I have a Pisces rising, actually. And the people I'm around with the other energies like that, they definitely have helped me in regards to that. I felt more inspired by an Aries. I felt, that Pisceans are people that I can really talk to and feel like there's somebody who's listening, somebody who really, really cares. This is essential in relationships. You want to be heard. You want to have a good form of communication. Now, let me say, with the enormous amount of energies moving forward this year, and then onward for 20 years, and then onward from there, in the sign of Aquarius and air signs, it's about speech. It's about communicating. It's about emerging, coming out of our shells. We've had to be in our shells and at home and kind of, isolated in a lot of ways for a long time, right? This past year. Boy, this is really instigating all of us to say, you know what? I want to do something new. I want to see myself in a different light. I want others to see me that way. And through technology, which is what Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is about. I mean, inventing and instigating and expanding ourselves in beautiful ways. So I see this as a very big theme for the two of you, and I imagine it to be extremely fulfilling. And I would like to read the tarot energies to further that and see what Spirit has to say about the two of you in this highlighted connection. This deck I'm using now, though, I love so much. It's called the OK Tarot. It's not perfect, it's just okay. Very simplistic, very appropriate for the Capricorn. They're not necessarily outwardly frivolous, or, they're not overly, zealous or necessarily communicative. They're kind of reserved energy a lot of times, very stern, very, very practical, doing their job, doing it well, and being leaders, being in authority, not wanting to change or rock the boat or necessarily expand. Well, that's all changing for them, and they'll love it. But regards to you, it's good. it's really good. So it reminds me of the Capricorn energy, of the simplicity of this deck. So the first category is always the overall energy that brought you to this reading for this two beautiful highlight connection of Capricorn and Pisces. And you have the Queen of Cups. So there you go. There's that watery, beautiful energy just pouring through, making you feel incredible amounts of love, recognizing the power of intuition you have for the two of you. Really kind of just understanding each other in a spiritual and faded way, like you get each other. It doesn't even have to come through words. It could come through physicality. There's usually a very beautiful connection and passionate, intimate relationship with these two. But yeah, just feeling your feminine ability, your ability to recognize and understand that you have intuition and you have capabilities of connecting to the messages that are there for you at all times, listening, allowing that in, and feeling really, really fulfilled right now in this relationship. You know, we all went through a lot last year, and I think it affected a lot of our relationships because it's just what happens when there's so many things that are going on, and you become confused and everything, and you're not sure which way to turn, or why can't I do this, or why haven't I been able to reach you or speak with you or be with you. It really makes you realize and appreciate the importance of all of that, and of love particularly, because love is incredibly powerful, and it's so healing, and it's so, so important in all of our lives, no matter what type it is, starting with self-love, of course. So I love that for your overall energy. Then you have your second category, which is the category of possible blessings or obstacles, and what's come up for you in that regard. And you know, if you're not resonating immediately, it's okay. It can take time. All of the energies, even with this new moon, you write the intentions, but sit tight. Plant the seeds, plant the intentions, and then just wait for them to unravel, and believe and trust fully that they will. Because it's not a linear situation when it comes to time and spirituality. Okay, so for the second, this is so perfect. For the second card and the possible blessings or obstacles, you have the Ten of Swords. Well, that's the air, boy. That is the Aquarius. That is the rebellious. That is the communication. That is the devastation, the deception, the confusion, the just defeated. I mean, just feeling just completely done, I guess. You know, that's the word that's coming to mind. It's not a real special word, but it's just done. You're done. You've had all that you could take. You've heard all you could hear. And once again, that's when this beautiful energy of water, Queen of Cups, comes through to say, what is it that I fully believe? And what do I want to do with this information? And by the way, the 10 is, and when you see this depicted in the Rider-Waite, it is a person on the ground with all the swords in their back. I mean, they have just been stabbed in the back, basically. You know, they're at the end. You know, they have reached the end. And what do they say? When there's an end, there's then the beginning. So this is the beginning of a new cycle. So all of that stress, all of those extra worries, sleepless nights, conversations in your mind, which is what air is about, using our mind. That's how they work through everything in their life, through their mind, through their thoughts, through the way that they can communicate and strategize and understand, you know, how people think and the best way to connect in that realm. And yeah, you're done. You are done. That's the obstacle that's been in your way. And I understand it. I mean, it's still kind of, you know, in the outskirts, obviously. Nothing is completely understood yet in certain areas of our life in the world, but it is getting unraveled and revealed, and the truth will prevail, is what I'm being told, and certainly feeling this energy is trying to say to you as well. So let that go, let it go, and hold on to the heart, the most important part, that can, you know, supersede and override all of their emotions. And then the last category is the category of finances or materialistic things, things you can feel, touch, and smell and taste, and all the senses and the grounded aspects of our lives, you know, that are important for sustenance and stability and such. And you have the King of Wands. Whoo, there you go. There you go, Aries. Right in tune with your energy. The Wands of the Aries, the Leos, and the Sagittarians, they're the fire. They're the part of us that make things happen. They're the spirited aspects of us. We have our emotions, we have our minds, we have our physicality, and we have our spirit. And when it comes to your money, there's nothing stopping you. Yes, there's been delays. Yes, there are still things to be revealed, okay, as far as conversations and government intervene type of situations. But this is a definite indication of mature and fast-moving energy working towards your finances, you know. And I feel like a lot of you in this connection and Aries definitely have been maybe busier than a lot of us in the past year. You have kept the fire going. You have had obstacles, you have had slowdowns, you've had confusion, and you know, I just feel really strongly that it didn't stop you. Like, you found other ways to create, which is what last year was about. How are you going to work for yourself? How are you going to make things happen when you don't have control of outside influences? It starts from here. It always has, always will, but it really gave us that insight. And then you started seeing it, you know, certainly on media and such, where people are like deciding, oh, well, can't go to my normal place of business, so let's just do Zoom. Let's, you know, all these beautiful celebrities and people that were helping keep their shows and their, you know, spirits going. And that's the kind of thing I'm seeing, just this honest to God, just confidence about what it is you represent and how you can help others in the process as well. Certainly in your relationships, others you love, you know, you're the king, you're the master. You understand and you know that you will persevere and you will be okay. You will be better than okay. The deck is the okay tarot deck, but you're going to be way better than just okay. So I love this reading, and it shows emotion and love and creativity. It shows recognizing that the thoughts we think really can confine us and they can really tear us down, but they are fleeting and they are changeable, and we can always have control of what we're thinking and how others and life affects us, what we say to others, being aware of that. And then financially, and you know, on a physicality aspect, you know, your practical side of life, I think you are really, really feeling strong and in your element, Aries. So that's absolutely beautiful, and I hope you enjoy that and really feel that that's exactly where you are right now. I'd like to know, and I'd like you to possibly, if you wanted to, go back to your beginning of the month reading and see if it's still in line with it and growing, you know, on a positive uphill motion, right? So now I'm going to read these Oracle Divination messages that are for every single zodiac sign in connection with Aries, because this is the highlighted chosen. That's not for everybody. And Aries has tons of connections and friends and social, you know, connections. And so this would be good for everybody involving the beautiful sign of Aries for today and this wonderful new moon. And so this is the deck I'm sticking with right now. It's really calling to me. It's the Starseed Oracle, and it's been very, very strong in regards to helping us in the wisdom that it brings forth. So this is for all the Aries, and like I said, all your connections, and your specific message for today is Hyreth, longing for home, homesick for the stars. I think I've read this once before. So you can see and feel right off the bat when I say that to you, that you're in this place where you want to be grounded with that Capricorn, but you also want to reach for the stars. Like there's nothing that you want to ever stop you or ever feel that way. You don't want to feel limited or constricted in any way. You want to feel boundless, that incredible Aquarian energy coming through with Jupiter and Saturn can provide for you. You know, just opening your heart and mind to all sorts of possibilities. There's like a vortex. Isn't that a gorgeous illustration? Opening to you. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, Hyrith, but I'm going to read to you what it says. And I love that for you. I can see and feel that that is very prevalent for all of us, really, but this is for the Aries. So let's get to the H's. Here we go. Hyrith is a Welsh word. Forgive me if I'm butchering that. That's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing for homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. The unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds of old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy, or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to. And a place they may have experienced more than Earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of Source, a remembering of interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. Interestingly enough, there's more of migration happening in the last couple of years than notably known in many, many decades. So just putting that out there in regards to this message. It can manifest a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they're truly belonging. Well, that certainly makes sense after last year. I am one of those people, trust me. If you resonate with this yearning for home, but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on Earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body in this planet at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now. It's so powerful to be in the here and now, to fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. Well, that's exactly what you do, Aries. You don't do anything halfway. So I really feel like this is absolutely specifically for you. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you commit fully to your life? Well, if anybody's going to commit fully, it'll be you. So I'd be curious. If you have not subscribed, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It is incredibly supportive, and it makes me feel amazingly good, and it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path. And I've done this for so many years, but I love the interaction so much. And when you do subscribe, like, share, you can then comment to me and, you know, connect basically and let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, any questions you may have. I always answer them, so that would be greatly appreciated. Become part of my community. The second oracle is the Wisdom of the Oracle, and this is gorgeous. I only got this recently, but people use this a lot. I've seen a lot of other tarot readers and spiritual leaders, including the beautiful Colette Baron-Reid, who is the inventor, I guess you would say, of this, and many, many decks. And so, oops, there it is. It is, it's just a beautiful deck I'm bringing back again. Though still fairly new, I just received it last year. Well, here you are in the love connection for the beautiful Aries, and you have soulmates. So it's number 41. 41 is 5. We are in a 5-year, so I feel very strongly for a lot of Aries. If you have not been in a relationship, not even thought about it, that might be changing this year. And you may be getting those prompts. You may be thinking, ooh, I don't know, I'm already sure. Well, let it go. Let go and let God, surrender, release, all those things, you know, it'll be there, and that's what a soulmate's about. It's fated, it's meant to be, and it might just change your world in ways you never imagined, and I feel like you're going to allow that. You may even be calling that in right now as I speak. You're being divinely guided, and you see this beautiful, beautiful spiritual entity in the clouds, saying it's time, you know. No one should walk this earth alone necessarily. I have been a single woman for 20 plus years. I was never without a relationship. I'm just saying, and I have so many relationships in other realms, right? So it's obviously been a beautiful life. And I got my kitten in the last year. However, I never say never. And when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, if you are wanting this, right? That's a big part of it, of course. But for those who are, stay tuned. Seems like the very, very important message for you to know in regards to that this year. So that's exciting. I like hearing that. Or maybe taking this relationship you have to the next level is also coming very clearly into mind for me. So your last message, last but not least, is your super attractor manifestation message, where we feel the life that we want into existence. We use the law of attraction. We co-create at all times, but we purposely think, feel, and believe all together congruently, which is then how the law of attraction works. You can't have one out of alignment, you know. It has to all work in tandem and feel very balanced. And I guess the main thing is feel. You have to have that feeling and emotion within the depths of your soul and heart. And so your beautiful affirmation or mantra, whatever you choose, for all of you out there, I just recently picked this. This says a lot to me because it keeps coming up and I shuffle all the time. This is the root chakra. This is that grounding. This is the influence of this new moon and really dedicating yourself to feeling secure. You know, we had some things come up last year where it's like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I didn't necessarily save what I wanted to. I didn't necessarily do this. Well, there you go. It really taught us what to do, didn't it? And that's exactly where you're going with it. That's the color and that's the passion of the second chakra as well. That sensuality, that creativity that you have, and the boldness to go about doing it. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. That's right, you heard it. I know you're used to being in charge, Aries, a lot of times, but I also know that you're very willing to allow. There's a very deep spiritual part of you that I've known for a lot of Aries. Use it. Take it with you. Enjoy this time to kind of still, you know, plant those seeds, because it's not, like I said, a time to go fast forward, but I think you're definitely heading in the direction you want to. I think you're very, very much into fine-tuning that right now. And I think that you're going to do extremely well with your highlighted connection or all of your connections. You know, because love will prevail, and I hope it thrives, and it's phenomenal. And I hope you take extremely good care of yourself in the process. Should you travel, and all the things that I think are coming forward as well for you. And come on back again sometime. I'd love to have you, you know, be a regular visitor on my channel. And so till next time, take good care, and bye for now.